Hey guys, how you going? Just jumping in here for a personal share. About a week ago, I did a reading for a client, and it turned out to be the most beautiful reading that helped all of us. And I just wanted to share this because with the energies and what's happening at the moment, what we are continually transmuting in our energetic field, especially as the powerful 144 light workers and souls, we are the most powerful souls that walk the planet at the moment, and we are being so called to step fully into our sovereignty, and that will keep happening more and more and more until we're truly out there, not afraid to speak, not in doubt, not whatever, to actually step into that power and remove any more limiting beliefs around ourselves or any type of unworthiness or anything. So what happened is I used to do a lot of readings in the past. That was no problem. But this particular one, this friend, well, she's a client, but a friend, I've done readings for her a few years ago. And she reached out to me and said that one of her closest friends had taken her own life, committed suicide, and she was just beside herself. And, you can imagine what someone feels in that space. Could I have helped? What could I have done? Could I have reconnected with her? Like, did I reconnect quick enough last time? Like, all these things go through your head. Should I have reached out? What happened? Why didn't she tell me? Blah 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 blah. I could have helped. So there was all this stuff going on, and with my client, and I could feel that she felt some guilt in her energy, even though she said she didn't. But I could feel she was in this place of, oh my God, like, I just want some answers because, So I said to her, she said, I really need your help. And I said, what are you looking at? What are you looking from me? I said, are you looking at, because she knows I also do, coaching, inner child coaching, trauma coaching, all that's one of my specialties as well. But I'm first and foremost a healer here on this planet, and we do that through so many different ways and modalities, right? And coaching and helping someone through that is just one of them. But I said to her, are you looking for that type of help, or are you wanting to reconnect to her spirit, spirit side? And I knew that's what she was looking for. When I asked the question, I could feel that. But I just wanted to ask her because I also wanted to give her the option to be able to openly speak and, have, if she wanted to have a session with me to really help or whatever. So anyway, she said, I want to reconnect with her. I want to know sort of why she did it. I want to know if I could have helped. I want to know, and we can get into that place when something like that happens. And so instantly, so a few things. Firstly, I'm thinking, okay, I totally understand that. Yep, let's connect with her. Secondly, my limiting beliefs come up around, okay, do I want to, and when I say it's a limiting belief, I say it's a limiting belief because when I was taught years and years ago, when I first started psychic development class with my spiritual teacher over a year ago, she always kind of talked about staying away from the mediumship side of it, staying away from the astrals, staying away because of just the dark entities. And I don't have to go into that, but what I'm talking about. So for me, I've never really wanted to. I've always been, readers have said to me, you have family and ancestors and people that want to come through and talk to you, but you like shut the door. And I'm like, I do. I actually don't want to delve into that area, that realm. Like I really work with the organic light so much that I just prefer that, and I don't call myself a medium because I can do it, but I don't want to do it. I'm just choosing not to. So anyway, so that came up around that. It's like, oh, do I really want to do this? And secondly, do I really want to do this with someone that was obviously in a human form? She was that depressed, had a lot of darkness or whatever around her. I could feel straight away she had a lot of darkness around her. That she took her own life. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be also delving into that. And that kind of doesn't, the dark side of it doesn't frighten me or anything, because years ago, I used to work with clients that had very bad entity attachments, like very dark entity attachments, a lot of darkness, and things that I don't want to say in here because I don't want my videos to get triggered, you know, or whatever happens, not triggered, but like where they take it off. So I'm always careful what I say in it, but I've worked with clients, let's just say that, where I've working with the organic light and my light crew, and I've always protected myself, and I know I've always been protected, and that's fine. So that didn't bother me. It was more like, oh, I just love to stay in the light work of it. Like, do I want to delve into that? And then I realized my higher self said, just go with it. Just let it go. Like, why are you in your head around all this? Like, you're in these limiting beliefs of, A, are we going to be able to connect with her? B, is she going to be ready? C, you know, do you want to do it because of X, Y, Z? It's your belief. You know, you're worried about if you're going to be able, because I was also like, oh, well, what if she comes through and says something that my client is not going to want to hear? All of these things. And then I just had to let go of it. And this is one reason why I'm sharing this video, is because even as spiritual teachers, readers, whatever you want to call it, we can go into our head, we can go into our ego about it, instead of just saying, okay. So I just kind of let it go and went, okay, what will said to my higher self, I'm letting go of it, letting go of controlling anything or worrying about any outcome, because I know that what is meant to come through and meant to happen will happen, right? So I heard straight away that she's in a healing chamber, and she was not, and she was healing. Her spirit was healing, and she wasn't ready to connect. So it was about 5 days before, I just let it go, before I realized it was the right time to do this reading and connecting. And when I did, I was getting, throughout that week, I was getting bits and pieces of, you know, coming through of the situation. But then I started to do this reading, and what I found is, and this is why we shouldn't just rush in, I found that within that 5 days, the energy that I could feel her spirit at the start, as opposed to when I actually did the reading, she'd come a lot further along, where she was really willing and more, I guess in a human word we'd say comfortable, to come through and want to speak about her situation. And, you know, there was a lot of darkness in this, I could feel that, and there was a lot of stuff she hadn't shared with anybody on earth. So but there was also, I could feel a lot of incredible knowledge and wisdom and light she wanted to bring through to share messages to help others that were going to be receiving this reading. So in those 5 days, I went with my guidance, and I didn't rush in to do it for my client. I was guided to wait, and it worked much better. And it was a beautiful reading in the end. And here I was just thinking, I don't know if it's going to be 10 minutes. I don't know if it's going to be an hour. It's going to be what it needs to be, what she feels is being guided. So, and it was a beautiful reading in the end. It was about 50 minutes. And one of the things that she said at the end is she really wanted me to relay that how she's going to come back and be there for those loved ones, and also for her friend, my client that I was doing the reading for. And she had mentioned many different ways that she would show up, but the main message was to please don't discard when you see a sign, when you think it's me, when you feel my energy, when you hear my name, whatever it is, like just randomly in your head, know that is me popping up, know that is me, and talk to me. Don't shut me out, because I feel like, you know, the people that would be getting these messages, and her family, and that where it goes down the line, would probably not be maybe on a spiritual path or understanding, or just kind of like 1 foot, like, oh, is this real, is it not real, whatever. And she was really trying to get the message across as to, please, like, I'll be bold and I'll show you, but please don't discard it. So within so I sent the reading to my client, and within 24 hours she sends me back 2 pictures that had been taken at the beach, not by her, but by the girl's mother, the girl that took her life's mother. She's in a completely different state in Australia. They're not in the same state. And she took this picture, like, I mean, the mother is not in the same state as my client anymore. And she took this picture, two of them, and as clear as day you could see it was of the beach, but there was like trees and nature in front of it. And as clear as day you could see this beautiful outline. It was almost, it was her in spirit, but excuse me, she was almost like showing angel wings as well, the way it spread out. And it just glowed, and it was a beautiful color, and it just was her, absolutely, so bold. And you know, she sent me that, and she said to me after, because she just had the reading and listened to it, you know, in the last 24 hours, and realized that, oh my God, this is what she said to Kellie in the reading. And so it really, in that reading, not only did she come through to share, to try and make those loved ones back here realize, well, they couldn't have done anything, but she also has opened their eyes to the spirit world, to what happens when you cross over, to I'm going to be able to communicate with you, so please believe it and please be there. So, and this is what it showed my client, and she, you know, she was just like, wow, like it was just amazing. You know, she believed it. She said it's her 100%. And as much as she was scared, she was happy. And when I say scared, because she's like, oh wow, you know, sometimes when people actually get it in your face of how that it's real, they get a bit like, oh my God, that freaks me out, sort of thing. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that story because it helped so many people, and myself included, because I just needed to let go of any narrative of belief I had around whether, you know, the whole thing of whether I wanted to work with people that have just passed over, whether I would be able to bring through a beautiful message, and I had to release the fact of thinking, and see, that what I discovered is that's the people pleaser in me that jumps in and goes, oh, I only want to bring good news. Someone's just, you know, 2 days earlier taken her own life and left this earth. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be bringing good news. Do you know what I mean? But we just have to let it flow. And on the other side of it, her spirit she needed time. It was too early to do it straight away. So it just, when we let go, and when we are in a position to have the awareness of like, okay, for myself, I am the conduit that she's coming through to bring the messages. Her spirit and the higher divine is bringing these messages through me. So it's up to me to know with my own guidance and go with my own higher self guidance of, you know, don't rush in to do it just to please my client here or whatever, or just to get the messages in a hurry. So she may be, you know, because she was really upset, so that might help. But no, there's a time for everything. And I just had to be aware of that. So I wanted to share this message. If you know, I don't know really why I'm sharing it in terms of someone might be listening to this that's in the same situation, and they might be able to get something from this to help. But it's definitely one of the main reasons I know I'm sharing this is to share that with these energies at the moment, they are when something happens, it's helping all parties. It's like, you know, spirits coming in and really doing a shuffle and helping in so many different ways. And it was 14:14 when I looked up on the clock there. So, okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, sending you lots of love. Namaste. Take care. Peace out. Bye-bye.